Hey family, welcome back to Lab 517. As always, we're here to heal, create, and inspire. So I'm really excited about today's video because we're going over my top 10 stock picks for 2025. I'm also going to show you how I evaluate different stocks. And again, this is just for learning purposes. I'm not a financial advisor. I've just been going through this journey myself of building generational wealth over the past year and have learned a lot. And so this is what's going through my mind a lot of the day. And so I really just wanted to share to help other people who are just starting out on this journey of investing and building wealth. And so again, that's just my top 10 stock picks, and I encourage you all to do your own research. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, so definitely consult a professional if you need help with that. But I hope you all do your own research and have some fun with this. And so let's get to the top 10 stock picks of 2025. And then I'll talk about how I evaluate a company that I want to invest in. Let's get it. Stock picks for 2025. I try to include some ones that had some lower stock prices and also ones that were not as mainstream. But again, these are just my top 10 that I'm looking at for 2025. I hope you will drop your favorite ones that you're looking at in the comments below. And then in this next slide, we're going to talk about how I actually evaluate a stock. This is not only just for buying shares, but also trading options as well. I'm looking at these 5 things. So I want to see the revenue growth year over year. I want to look at the profit and operating margins. I want to see what's the percentage of institutional investors. I want to see that free cash flow, and I want to see the stock performance over 6 months, year to date, over a year, and see what that looks like as well. And so in the next part of the video, we're actually going to go to Yahoo Finance and actually look at where you find this information, and again, what I'm looking at and how I'm evaluating these stocks. So let's jump to that. How to analyze a stock. Again, this is just how I evaluate a stock. It's a lot of different ways that you can evaluate a stock. So just wanted to put that out there. So we're going to look at Palantir, the first one on our list for our stocks for 2025. So we're on Yahoo Finance, and we just search. You either can put the name or the ticker symbol there and search for it. I bought this company about a year ago. They were trading around $20 to $26. I thought it was a very unique company in the AI space. They just got a big contract with the military, the government, to be able to offer their software to help the military out as far as locating targets. And they're working on some other advanced, technologies as well that the government is interested in. So very unique company. But again, when we're here, we want to go to our stats. And so I'm coming here, and then the first thing we talk about on our list to evaluate a company is the revenue. And so we see right here under income statement, the year over year revenue growth is 30%. That's really good. Typically 10% or higher. It varies per sector and the company that you're looking at, but we're seeing that they're growing year over year. So that's really good. And then we talked about the profit and operating margin. So that's 18% and almost 15.5% there. And so with that profit margin, think about it. For every $100 they take in, how much are they keeping? So they're keeping like $18 here. So that's really good. And again, this is going to vary. Usually I'm looking at 10 to 40% for both of these, but it just depends on the sector. And, so you really want to compare similar sectors and companies that are doing the same thing and kind of the same market cap as well. But again, we have operating margin here, so think about that. Like after taking out all the different overhead expenses, salary, all those things, again, how much are they able to keep? So they're doing really good in those areas. And then over here, over by shared stats, I'm always looking at institutional investors, and so definitely want this to be around 50, preferably 60% or higher. Again, this is a newer company, so it's a little bit lower, but this just means that your companies like BlackRock and Vanguard, these large wealth management funds that are managing trillions of dollars, they're backed by them. And so that shows that, that stock has some strength and favorability as far as investments. So I'm always looking at that. And then the next thing we talked about is that free cash flow. If we come down here to the cash flow statement, and so they got, some cash flow there. Excuse me. And this just really allows the company to be able to innovate, to be able to acquire different companies, to be able to do, more things to build that revenue. So you want to look for that good cash flow. And then last thing, if you come up here to the stock price history, I'm always looking at the performance of the stock. And so we see that the over the 52 weeks has had a lot of growth, and so that's really good. It's trading right now around $79. And then we have our 52-week high is at 84. And so just a rule of thumb when investing or if you're trading options, you don't want to buy at that high. So you want to look at the pullback. And so these moving averages can be good places to buy at. This stock moved very quickly over a short period of time. And so like this moving average for the 200-day is really low, but this 50-day moving average, in the past weeks I've seen Palantir get down to around 66, 67. So that could have been a good buy-in point for you. But again, we don't want to buy at the high. We want to wait for that dip, wait for that pullback, because when stocks usually reach their high, it's going to be a sell-off. And I'll talk more about those things, but a lot of times people panic when they see that sell-off, but it's just a normal ebb and flow of the market. You have buyers and you have sellers. Again, we'll talk more about that later. I want to keep this short, but again, this is how I track, I evaluate the stock. And one last thing I wanted to show you, if you go back to the summary, here you can look at the stock growth over like 1 day, 5 days, 1 month. And so just like in a six-month period, the stock is up 209%. Now, obviously, every stock is not going to do those numbers, but the point is you're not going to get that return in the bank. Even if this is up 30% over 6 months, you're not going to get that in the bank. And so it just shows the power of investment, and then, investing for the long term, the compound interest that comes with it. I know this video is longer than I wanted it to be, but thank you all for tuning in. Please put the stocks that you're looking at for 2025. I would love to see those. Also, any topics you want me to talk on. And again, if this was any value to you, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.